Welcome back to How to Souls. My name is Rach, and today we're going to talk about an NPC questline which is very, very easy to mess up. And that is the questline for Seigmeyer of Catarina, aka the Onion Knight, aka... So I'm here today to talk you through each stage of this quest, and I mean, sorry, Solaire lovers, it's probably the best questline in this game. It's heartbreaking, it's equal parts like joyful as it is sad. It's actually more sad, probably. Okay, so part one. Seigmeyer is here. He is outside the gates to Sen's fortress. He will move once you have rung the 2 bells of awakening. So that is the bell after beating the gargoyles boss and the bell after beating Quelaag. So once you do that, the gates to Sen's fortress will open and Seigmeyer here will be able to progress himself. This part is not missable. It's like optional, but I'm going to include it because, you know, it is part of his quest line. Literally all you can do to him here is every time you find an NPC at any point in this game, just talk to them until they're repeating themselves. He just sort of like sits and waits for something to happen, and that something is us. The next part to Seigmeyer's questline then continues after you've rung both bells of awakening and the gates to Sen's fortress open. So we're going to progress through Sen's fortress until you come face to face with some giant balls. So we're going to wait for a safe time to cross and head down here. Here is Seigmeyer, just sort of pondering how he could possibly get past these giant balls. So we're going to continue making our way through Sen's fortress until we get to the ball control room. Currently, the ball direction is heading down to Seigmeyer's way. So all we have to do is change the direction of where they're going, sort of push it this way so they just sort of go out this window. This way they're not going to bother us, and more importantly, they're not going to bother Seigmeyer anymore. So he's now free to make his way through Sen's fortress. Returning to him and talking to him is not only unnecessary for his quest, but also it will reset your progress through Sen's fortress because the ball direction just resets as soon as you go back down there. So don't go back down there. So that is the second part of Seigmeyer's questline completed. The next part of Seigmeyer's questline is here in Anor Londo, but you'll need to have progressed through the area until you reach this bonfire after the Anor Londo archers. From here, follow this path to find Seigmeyer. You should probably spend some time getting good at fighting the Silver Knights. I find parrying is a really easy way to get rid of them, especially if your weapon has really high critical rate. But you're going to be fighting a lot of these guys, so bear that in mind. Take this door on the left through the bedroom. Up the stairs. This knight with the bow just over there won't bother you, so we can stick to this side of the room and just go for this one here. So down here is where we'll find Seigmeyer. So, what seems to be the problem here now? So he reckons to get through this door, we're going to need at least like 6 people. Let's have a look what we're dealing with here. Right, there's quite a few Silver Knights in this room. So we can just like sort of peek our heads in, pull the first one all the way over here, quite far away from Seigmeyer, take out the first one. Just be very careful if you are doing this method to like not take them anywhere near him, because you could screw up the quest line if you get him hurt or killed. Right, so we're going to try and get one of these guys, not the 2 of them. That would be awful. If you have any kind of throw-in weapons, that could work. I'm very lucky my weapon is like super high level, so we can beat them in like 1 riposte. My Claymore's +9. So yeah, we did it. So this time he gives us a gift for saving him, the Tiny Beings Ring. Next, once you have defeated Ornstein and Smoke, completed Anor Londo, and received the Lord Vessel, if you warp back to Firelink Shrine, Seigmeyer will be here. Fancy meeting you here. The gates to the fortress? Yeah, that was me that opened them. You're welcome. So he gives you Emit Force as a thank you for like holding his hand through his entire flippin' adventure. He mentions, now I'm gonna head below. I've been up above and now I've had enough of that. I'm going down below. Oh, Seigmeyer, if only you knew, down below is not much better. So next we're going to follow Seigmeyer down to Blighttown town, and you will need some purple moss clumps to give to him so that he can make it out of the swamp without dying to the poison. If you don't have any of these and you're looking for a nice easy way to farm them, I do have a video on this very thing for you very people that you can click in the cards above. So make sure you have 1 for yourself and then 3 for Sieg. So from the Blighttown bonfire, he is just over here, across the swamp. I have the rusted iron ring equipped, so it's allowing me to run across the swamp a little bit faster. But we ideally want to like keep a good pace. He's just over there, you can just see him there. Because I don't want all the mosquitoes following me, really. But yeah, just stick to the side of the swamp. I don't really want to pull the slugs if I can help it. We can get over here, treat ourselves to a nice wee purple moss clump, and then chat to him here. So he's having another little snooze. please? Can you spare a few scraps of moss? Now, the dialogue says give purple moss clump, which you would think meant like one of them, but you actually need 3 of them. You give him those, and he gives you the pierce shield. I'm assuming he had a spare. Right, and that is the next part of his quest done. You'll find him next in the Duke's archives, so progress through the area until you die, get locked in prison, break out of prison, and then find yourself at this bonfire here. Keep making your way through the area until you get to the outside sort of garden area just before the Crystal Caves. Now, you will see, if you've done every step up until now, a golden golem in this garden. This will only be here if you've done Seigmeyer's quest, because inside, if we carefully chip away at it and defeat it, is Sieglinde, his daughter. Have a chat with her and you'll learn that she's looking for her father. You and me both, girlfriend.
A suit of armor just like mine.
Let her know, yes, we have seen him.
Thank goodness.
And then this will progress the quest. Okay, so from here we're immediately going to warp back to the Firelink shrine. Sieglinde is now here, just next to the bonfire. She asks you once again, have you seen my father? And yes, once again, we have. I don't know if she's got short-term memory loss or what. So answer yes again to progress the quest. Now from here, do what you like. If you want to finish the Duke's archives and kill Seath, go straight ahead. But we're just going to skip straight to the Demon Ruins, warping to the Dotted of Chaos and then going through that. We're heading for Lost Izalith. When you do eventually get to Lost Izalith, you're looking for this bit here. It's just before the Bed of Chaos boss fight. Stick to the left-hand side of the room and the rest will crumble, revealing the creepy Chaos Eaters below. Head carefully down the tree root to find Seigmeyer. Once again, he's facing some overwhelming odds and he's like, do you know what? This time it's my turn. I'm going to charge in there and I'm going to take them down for you. So this part of the quest is quite fiddly. It can have one of 3 outcomes. What I do want to recommend is if you are playing on the PC is just to quickly back up your save data. I'm going to put an address on screen now that will help you find the folder location. Just copy it to your desktop or something, and then that way if you don't get the outcome that you were hoping for, you can always just reload your save. I believe consoles have a way of doing this, like PlayStation, you can put it on a USB or you can use the cloud. But again, there's a reward either way, so don't worry about it too much. Outcome number 1 is if you talk to him, he's like, do you know what? It's my turn now. I'm going to protect you for once. So he just jumps straight in as soon as the conversation ends, and he takes all 4 of them on by himself. Now you can jump down there and try and help him, but it is pretty overwhelming odds. And Seigmeyer will pretty much always die really quickly to these things. Upon his death, he will drop the speckled stone plate ring, which is a resistances ring, if Seigmeyer dies or becomes mortally wounded in this section. Rest in peace, brother, if this is the outcome you choose. The next outcome is if you roll down there yourself without speaking to him and you kill all the Chaos Eaters. When you return back to Seigmeyer to tell him the good news, he's kind of downtrodden. He's like, oh, I guess you came to my help again. He still gives you the speckled stone plate ring, but he does get to survive. But this is the end of his quest. He just kind of goes on feeling a bit useless, which is kind of sad. Now the final outcome, which does have the final part of his quest, is where he thinks he's coming to our rescue, but also survives. So, we're going to equip the rusted iron ring so we can run a bit faster. Just get rid of everything else so we're nice and quick. I'm going to drop down here. Now, if you have any kind of range ability, this doesn't apply to you. This is because this character doesn't have any range. This is a method that I have found that worked for me to kill all but 1 of the Chaos Eaters. If there's still 1 alive, then Seigmeyer can kill it. I mean, will help a little bit. And he'll still feel like he's helped us, but he won't die. So I did this 2 or 3 times, restoring my save each time, just to confirm that it does work. So I stood here to aggro 1 of them, and then I ran all the way back round. It does take a couple of minutes to do. It's quite a big, like, labyrinthine kind of area. I dropped down here again because we want to approach from behind, not from the front. And we're going to use these pits here. Right, so there is one just here that we're going to quickly, safely lead off to the side. And then we're going to very gently edge around the corner until we catch their attention. So we've managed to catch 3 out of the 4. And they follow us straight to their doom, which is fantastic. Hooray. This is a way that can save you a bunch of arrows or fire bombs, I suppose, if you want. If you aggro all 4 of them, then this isn't going to work. We don't want to kill all of them. So you're going to have to sort of make sure they don't all die. They don't respawn, so you get like 1 shot at this. You're going to need to homeward bone or quit out the game, reset aggro, etc. if you were looking to get this this outcome for the quest. Now we head back to Seigmeyer, who doesn't really notice anything different, bless him. He's like, I have a great idea, I'm gonna kill them all for you. And we're like, yeah, you go, girlfriend, you go. I jumped down there a little bit prematurely, but I knew he was on the way. And together we can pretty quickly kill this last one. You do have to be pretty quick because, like I said, Seigmeyer dies really quickly to these things. So you want to make sure he doesn't take too much damage, because if he is mortally wounded, he'll just give you the ring and his quest will end. You'll know that you've done it right if he says, well, you've saved me once again. I think I'll have a rest. I'll recover shortly. So he's still kind of sad that we helped, but, you know, at least he wasn't totally useless, so there's that. Now, we head back to Firelink to once again speak to Sieglinde. She says, I have finally located my father. I was able to pass on my mother's last words. So this is kind of like the nice, sad ending. It's sad, but it's nice. It's closure for Sieglinde. It's a beautiful, sad ending to Seigmeyer's quest. He's cursed to just live this life of always wanting to be more useful than he is, really. And I'm sure that's something we can maybe all relate to. After you've chatted to Sieglinde, now you want to go to Ash Lake. So I've already been to Ash Lake on this character, so I can just warp straight to the Stone Dragon. But if you haven't already been down the Great Hollow, you're going to need to get there from Blighttown. Climb up this tree route here, around about near where we met Seigmeyer when he was down here looking for poison moss. Oh, an illusory wall. Grab this shiny, and... oh, an illusory wall. Head down here, it's pretty linear, you're just aiming for the bottom, and eventually you'll emerge through to Ash Lake. So you'll see this bonfire on the right, that's where we're aiming for. And alas, we find Sieglinde standing over her father's body, all hollow now. He will cause no more trouble. It's finally over, and she is able to return to Catarina. Your reward for completely finishing this quest is her Titanite slab, a rare resource that can be quite difficult to get. However, you will notice that doing it this way means you miss out on the speckled stone plate ring, so it's up to you which outcome that you prefer. And that, my friends, is the tragic tale of Seigmeyer of Catarina. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I was able to help you with this quite tricky quest line in this game. Subscribe for more Dark Souls videos, Elden Ring, all sorts of Souls stuff, and I will see you in the next video.